and he will deliver on the topic seeking a connection between Odisha and Padmasambhava. Then we have the next speaker, Kentrul Jurme Dorje, who is also a respected Nyingmapa Buddhist scholar and a teacher. He is trained under one of the most prominent Nyingma teacher, Jigme Phuntsok. He held a campus degree from the Nganjur Nyingma College in Dehradun, and Kempo has been teaching internationally as well in Japan. Now he serves as the honorary professor at Gifu Women's University, and Kentrul Jurme-dorje Rinpoche lives in Japan and continues to teach there. He has also participated in many lectures and research and publications. And his topic will be life story of Guru Padmasambhava within India. Then we have Dr. Umakanta Mishra, my fellow Oriya scholar. And I've known him for some time, and we have been meeting at different places. So Dr. Umakanta Mishra is the associate professor in history at Ravenshaw University, Cuttack. He has been associated with Boats of South Asia Project, Oxford University, and several other as well. His publication includes Vajrayana Buddhism Study in Social Iconography, New Delhi, 2009, and Early Historical Cultures of Odisha. He has been a resource person of the Southeast Asian Arts Program of the School of Oriental African Studies, London. And Dr. Mishra will deliver on some Buddhist tantric masters of Odisha and their works. Then the last speaker would be Dr. Ritu Parna Ghosh. Very welcome, madam. Good to have you here. And Dr. Ritu Parna Ghosh is an assistant professor, head of department and research coordinator at Dhamma-Deepa International Buddhist University, Tripura. And she holds postgraduate degrees in philosophy and Buddhist studies from the University of Calcutta and earned her PhD in Pali and Buddhist studies. Dr. Ghosh has served as research associate on ICSSR funded projects and holds a diploma in Tibetan language from Rabindra Bharati University, Kolkata, and Tibet House, New Delhi. So her academic responsibility, she actually actively teaches Tibetan language courses and conducts workshops and seminars across India to promote Buddhist and Tibetan studies. She will deliver on the, sorry, what is this? Sorry, my eyes are failing, not yours. So she would deliver on basically the 8 manifestation on Padmasambhava according to the Nyingma tradition. I hope I'm correct, right? So, yeah, this is the Konamba Shigi ani Tringi Sunshetus Naya Resha, Tindi Hindi ani Thomas Sunshinang di Kempu Chimpinovo and the Perona Shui ani Kama Sumju, this is a so I will be giving 30 minutes to each of the speaker, and I will make a ping 5 minutes before the end of the session, but we can be also flexible a bit here and there. So we will now start with the first speaker, Khenpo Chöpil Nobu.
Hola, sotene jabji jitunji menor warin bojin chawdo. Tejin de semo mo. Ani kawon henje namba che, ani kentu gelo alo gi shinye namba gende tsamba tsama. Ani ngakwa de cheba tede mamong yo lan samde tashi dele shi gendre ne ta tiri nge ni kasba bi shuja de undrim bisha da pamma samba warje. Ndelam sorwa se ta kajon te ta jare ti kone ta chi namba ton che nyen sen shwe ke chare ani chong ta khasong homa ngendi she chom de tie kan charge misa yo mare me de ta ti so shibo shibo che ni ma khasha no ngendi she chom te jare yindi kar che ne la na ta sema omon chogi nga yone ter den de chi nibar de orisa do ngren bodin ke pardin rewa yon ke chi she chom chi trigondo de tema mobo che sone tenge nima singa chino chi treja te chi dingi ni tanda ta semo go ma do ton ma ta ni gi ndino la ngren mo chi onri sa parji tni ndaga re ndaga mare sa sinju ta shimba ra ne chi homi phuba je shira jira nga hieme ani chik tere ani ni ba de tengarong ge sono chi to pena omne chabar chi tiso chabar chi tomba chabar chi wa ne chabar chi song dor ji te pe temba tar sa 아니 tomba chabraji oje sangje niba tu chabraji oje sangje niba 아니 jiren chi bi tison danda ani chi tsawa chimbo tashi bi tison chi indi ngendela ani chi tamshe chi je jana ti manduga mando ani chobi tende ni njondo sare tene tenge khane chi jai te ma to tangye ani orisan de don rebi ge ngoma shinju nyo mare ani oje sangje niba te don rebi oje sangje nibi non tar denge mo ko nyu yina ta orisan de do jerne ge nam ta denge ani chi misa shinju cheme de te mando te ina ta te gotsong minerwa watende chigre ta dino nge sache nomba nganda jajare logi din samjarwa se koksong tuti yomde chewa tembas bemin namtar chagtsus ndotsong shebas undrim bishado lokpe chembo barjin relam sorwas kathong den jong senjin namrong ani tembas ta dino nge sache nga jajayo ina tezo ditsun ma de chansong ngendi ma hlo me ta hlo den tiswa chi yo marwa 어때 제때는 게 담보 찬성지 로 차지 당가는데 로자지 공중스 배 단단히 공 캠보지 캠보베더니 인지 공 마치 로래 어때 제 다드니 로진 상저와시디 시동가 손에 소변 침보 100만 전에데 다 트라들은 가서 다 빼나 tomba 상제 쪽된데 그냥인데 비로 시지스데 다른 보러 와 가서 시에두가지 요 말에 옛날 다드니 디송 신주 바래 아니 때마임비 띵호이니 촌에 정이 근에 로체에서 따져디 상제니바 100만 전에데 실로 대자 tuk주 레니로 치보 딱글로라 니 파상 생기 문제도 출락하는 패여래라 그래 다 때네 집이 단단히 니똥 니시 짱아와 디파르들 로치똥 니자 tuk주 하는 로와 디 노노라 가서 빼나다 보 konchimba 지레 개발됐더니 로 히말라야 그랬더니 대대 사 모보치가 짬내 냐치긴 바는데 지금 그러는 건데 짬내 냐치긴 바 손었던 때라진 봤던 걸 더니 진 개비 공부 드비 친척 더니 전타오치 너나니치 tomba 퍼선 속바치라 캐네 제레만도 때라니 지오치 ndri도 문지 아니 공자 더니치 타마바치 그래서네 공자 개바치 말해서 던지기니치 로지 지용고 말봐 때라 때네 니가 좀 너나니 좀벌인데라 ngren bo chen ge tene kui ji se chen ba song ji se chen ba tu ji se chen bi che de ko song tu chi tene ji ri se tri ba de mbr de ko ja ja ani ya li long ne jang ja ji ge tene ji ko song tu ji ten de ji pe chen zom bo li no la ngren bo chen mo sho ing ji re nge ten go ta ten zong ni sai li ti la ro o te chi de ta ten ji ge ne chi tom ba la nen da ngren bo chen nam tar de gande go chu go re gande she go re si di 당그런 뭐지 남탈들 시에서 리액션을 패치패치 리그레 땡그래 당 나송 남지 자자체나 nganji nima lula ridi kamas nyedi termas samo tanose korso no baksam shire korso no baksam shire de tin no ne tandange kas babade reji kama de ni chi te gne shod tembe ni xie ja na te ta nga chong de ni namba yin ba namba ma yin ba yo ngren bo ji te ba yo ba te ba ma yin ba yo rin ram da di kama tar de ni ya gi ta no ji nga so ke she sa tar de chi chu ke kan da zon bo ne ji ma che bi tan di par de ge lo ji chi le xie ro go ba gong za ne gong za ji bi lo ji chi le ro go di tan da nge ti sho se ge ni chong zo chi xie na ten so da te re ani ta te la nge kar la te chik che tani tang grer mbo chi se de tani kanza de ta rigi kama tar de chera ngonji logi tar de ganda chi la ta ndo ngonji tibu tamba thong che ngonji kheba thong che grer mbo chi roni kande shar ji ji ndo longo ne chi jata khache sa mai ba chera ta chi li tirab jeba do guba chuba no yebi ge icha khache ngen din long ton ne chen ba la ta nyang su chen char ji te ja ja yo de ni ta nam ji nga song da chi among da wong de he se ji yo de ji le ni de he se ji yo de de mai bi ne ta pin hong le jun yo de de mai ba ter ji sho se he ba den de yo de de mai ba dan da ni ge ka ma khona ge sho se de ba lo ji ni chi om na nga mi ge de ni yi cha ni ba de tong je khong tu chi ji ba wa den de xue de yin ani ta dan da ni ngrer mbo chen ge rong ge ni so ma ra cha de kacho shang sam se ra ne kawa pa che choro le jan se shang yi de la so ban don ni ngon ji ne chi dura guba no pe chi shi lo je ja da ni shu tsap shi ne song chi pa ro tsam ja ji ge ne kar chang phong thong ma se chi re yi cha ha le ni ba ti song da ne nga song de kan jur ten jin do kan jur ten ji ge ti ne chi ta kar cha tsa wa che sho ni yi cha ran tong che sho ta tin no kar song ra ne ngar ran bo chen de tin pen ta se ra ani ngudun choni ba den chi song ja re ani pent ta la ding nga chong na ji ne pent ta sen ke te kheba phad shim ba chi ngin zen che ro kap de din ne ani ngaran bo chin de pent ta phad shim ba chim de ngudun choni ba im ba de bi ren ze shi ba ji ba den ji ge ne chi song re ani ni ba te la ngaran bo chi ni chin ze ja bi ge ne thap chi sha pa pe mon thia se ti song ra nga ten tar chim bo de cho jen do ti nong ge de ji de chi cha te la ngaran bo chin re ba chin ze re 근데 타자 페멘트 디동세 디동다 아종 숑이 약치 구치치 요래 디기 인주 등거는 뭐지 랑가 송자지마 때마래 대용 간데 니에라나 띵홍이 촌네 디송거다 디랍 찌바 야송 정자거디 이차 니바제라 띵홍이 촌네 요래 디노 간다 송라드네 응거는 뭐지 자야데 무든 초니바 인서 그런 거 자지자자래 무든 초니바도 아니 송친 gedde tamche 아니 상제 쪼던데 투적 송아는 컨트롤의 시이선 그런 뭐지 코인 나거든요. gedde ran정은 개바인 봐. 아니 가르스는지 린즈트비 살아셔 콩고 샤르지치 노잔다. 어때지 땅 호마이 그 로지직 자대들. 드니 따단다 가통가 좀 개와 뭐지가 송송송. 배나 프리빌로지라 프리빌로지데 띵호인지 촌에 이차는 진유니치 녀외래. 띵호인지 촌에. 디 노노라 그런 뭐지 드니 do karde tebi rinzinya tane dorje perbi ki sharze sei hamo shilanenda tane lhasen tamla ta te mai me zentro yamasong te me ngonsari ka tanse mo chi sheje te woni ti honi thone longo ni chi tong ha ga tane chi loji dembe te tendi ga yo chi loji amenga chembo o te tendi yore ani tandan de ngran bo chi na ha chong ga tane chi tiso ta nyewa tirab guba na chong ja ji unna chen sangje yi shi se nganjir nima ba nona ne pena tuchin jembo nyenga ka taj tsure ta penje tirab guba ne pebi ka konza chere khong te ne chi something midon se na jon chin zere tino na ngaran bo chi ta de something midon de tirab guba chi ba no shongja ji icha hale ni ba chi cha de derwa tino ngaran bo chi simbi de peba tin simbi de peba chi jerwa renzi ji sala she ba ba yon chi songja re tene tandan de 바제 세르와 바제세 바사는 거 제바세 지라 다 디라 구바도 기바노 정지가 용 이차 할에 따침 보인 바제 디 인저 때와 디소 띵호니 톤 니베 이차 니바임가 ponta치 때베 디노는 디아보 안다보디 세 세르와 좀볼리나네 친 한킨 터 디바도 콘레 하요 마레세 든디고 또바제 따테 톤체 나톤 카르지 하청근이 로지 란톤 쳔보르와 미사근 그런 보치세 되네 지 드비 린저 세바 벤트 따임바 터도 니바덴바 와다 든지근이 지 로지 바든 그런 보친 거다 거성 특히 연대 나는다 그런 보진가 랑진 나는다 그런 보진 모라는 왔다 된다 지그래서와 어때라 당에 가르치거든데 네 그런 보진 거성 특히 제와라는 모집이네 사치 아니바네 대통이 근데 선바텔 당 그런 보진 남탈 차서서 시셔요 그런 보진 남탈 차서서 가르라네 지원 그단다 네 뱀마까이 통해나 오진 그 뱀만 정네 남탈 똥타 주동 야타구 마오 담데 tonde copa cone bet tenton mala sono chendra yonse te songdoa te ni pema ka ton chibo ne tendi de sonja ma tanda yore yo mare la ka ne pechi ndola ne digu yo tengo ta non tar tantra chudo jata guse de non tar tichi do gudya thambala ra non tar tichi do gudya thamba de mau tamse dembe kanza ang tonde ne te beja yo se te thongke de kanza de sono no chendra yong gre se da tin sonja da chi chen na so ta nano ne zo tengrer mo jeng nam tar de dolin so ro dolin so ani molon so ta tin ramba jin de rodi ni ne de sono chimbo nyanda chimbo gne chi karba de ngaso ti se pa ne chi te re wa te teng do karla na ngren bo jeng nam tar de tantra chi do jata gande ne yo cho sar la na pe na po konche ju no terte tantra mo bo re terte phamo chen ngren bo jeng nam tar yi 파치 자차 구축고 그 차브래 때때 파모치라 요래 아니 때때 마이 빙 한지 까미 쇼서 던디고 남타르 뭐 보래 아니 산미 쇼서 던디 뭐 보요래 아니 때 마이 빙 다낭네 쥐에 던디 뭐 보요래 때 제디 니 징아통 니네 신죽 지는 그런 뭐지 남타르더니 지 제디 마트 가자서 지 장가스데 페치 던다 요 서사래 되는 요래 언제 지 내가 좀 뱀막 같은 거 송자 집법 마이 바제라 마음바 정지 마이 바제 남탈 때 당시 단단히 정선반다 손노 돈에 가서 뒤고는 신주 지체는 신주 제조사래 된거요. 다 대체라. 아니 다티노네 남탈 때더니 다 간다는지 좋은 거 뒤쪽원도 떠나 녀라님하고 그래. 시로 직돈이 자뉴시 잡시던 총으로와 니자 그치 고니도 신시에 뒤거는 남탈 상리마세 네 가통 남탈 상리마세 르시치 그게 지그래 다테 토마르 페치 대차르 데네 존텐네 지 가통 린담다 할레 먹어요래 가통 린다 가통 쳔마타 할레 먹어지그래 데 탐체 남탈 데더니 지 드스 차트 따우데 디 간데 나통 할레 그는지 로지텔라 소종 체고서라 그런 뭐지 남탈 찍고 채마래 근데 신호진 직대 차트 남치지 선신 정체 데네지 돈비 땜반 정체 데네 가르스네지 돈비 취지 로지 아니 보지 취자랑 랑정 로지 마오베네 티소 ndra 런테 아니 담마다 랍자 딘디티비 근도나네지 자그르 자나 오지 바보 싱갈란두 용도 조피게티가 니지 카톤 탐체 징아소 야코 치타진 로지 용도 조파티노 두네 데데레 티소 신주바트 테상게 라우레 뭔지 집업에나다 디라 제발 그바노 페비가 건사 뭐보지 뱀마 카톤 마도 녜면도세 나서 신주 그제 그때 어미 푸사르데 소노톤서 할라 가르침 버렸는데 나서 마우팔 가디네데 뱀마 카톤 테솔린다 tin gren bo jen tar de jardi de hale ka chim bo chin de deba yo chor me chor loji shinju pa chin na ote ji da tin dig ne chi gren bo chin nam tar gi li truts de tri chak sa wa oten da chi yo re shi de tene tadi shibader ne chi onrim bisha don lokme chim pardin delam sawa sa tane ngujin da ta te cha de re te kanda chin re la ne chin tattagodi ngren boji terjong loji no matana tak terjong loji chi ngren boji ne ribi perbi loji ni che ne ngren boji ne ribi kama te sona ta mobo boji yon de re ta ngren boji sadon driven do la ka ngren boji dresak to de pena katon te sona ta somde te sona ta ani perbadun dribi te sona ta de ngren boji ndre da sa gden chi yedam la ne de la ne de khando la ne de dorje pamoda ha lebe ne chin reba chembochi tundo dorje pamode reba sabochi gendo ni ba den phapa shenra ze wa ta nga so ta ude giri den phapa shenra ko yo dera orisa landele ne dorje pam yo derwa te ji de phapa shenra ze da ha lebe ne reba chembochi tundo ta tinni go ne ne reba te yo sa re sen reba ne ne gren bo chang ne de chong go yo re de yo mare che ne ti sia tu yo mare de gren bo che te do ordin bishande ni parda relon sabo chindo se ta tenge ni xie da dokdo te xi gre ani ta tanda ka song nga song ge kyang ka xie de ta ordin bishate de ondia na res te mam ge long ki ran de yo res chamba le de res ani parden de ka pon ben de res ta kon be ge kyang bo chi song so ta ten yi suna tene pe cha ja de ordin yed pe na de mat tan lew de ban maton reta de je la song nga jom na de shin ji la tutta ordin ne sa pa ba la ten de chebra chi na so de sene de ani ordin yed song nga ge temba thomar pa sa re sa ta chi song gro ba te song de ta te ne kawal jar ne she gondol ne pe chi 따라나 타요. 저는 따라나 디럽 주루반의 주루 저는 페이지거든. 개바 첨부 지래. 자가게 로지 할엔 개바 첨부 지래. 콩근이 가라송rel라나 자르보 뱀마 첨부고 뒤스다더니 뭐 같이 단도바 니거죠. 단도바 니거네. 같이 그더니 히라지 파로심바 제 땅바데 오리살라 테마 땅바 박조레스. 같이 그라나데 여기기네 주 테코나니 디바센도 텐데 박조레라그레스. 다 가리는 garba면 도세 너나 아니데 성제 타바침비 템바 담보데 오리사 다르죠레스 타바침비 템바 담보 대성자래 대제디 페나 당기게데 레우데만 롱토아 대당 아니 단단드나데 오리사도 되니지 되니 디바 담보 녀세 다 성가 템바 타세 콘게 바르는 신중라 때서 제지요나 아세라 레바다 텔 바로데 요나 아세 땡게 아니지 선서 찍된 거래 아니 대 마인비가 영어 단단데 녀라 녀마고 저거던데 까통 성리만 놀라 단데 도르지 파미 거다 할레모 보지 손자라 그런 보지 도르지 파미 그니지 셴질라 온크라 아니 칸로마 통체 셴질라 온크라 칸로마 통체 온도 둘 든디게 로디무 녀라 녀마고 저거던데 대전 까통의 연구래 대전도 단단데 신중 캡이 같던세 파워틀랑 트렌드디 디그노 연구래 퍼빅 로지 젬바노 연구래 근데 소도 발로리 잔sel라서 바타 캡바 모보치 아니 도르제 난절메 인거는 뭐지 신질랍 아니 도르제 난절메 신질랍아 tel라 때네 리진 칸로 통차 온도 되자래 근데 로지 안에 영어도 모보치 영어들래 대지 따단다 나촌데 오르산데 소노토나 도르제 난절메 그 젬발 메방아도 답은 레나기리나 ndo 송도아 레나기리라 도르제 난절메 그 요래 테마임빈드나 도르제 파모 거데 샤 파모 무임 바튼 가서 도르제 파모요 된게 바로는 가서 신주라 제 요나스 찍제네 테 바로데 그런 뭐지도 도르제 파모니까 타모 마임비거든 레바치 퉁도스 오리사야 도르제 파모든 타모 마임비건 레노치 차데 단단히 지금 무슨 아니 그때한테 좀 잘질들에 타모 마임바치 차데는 디발나서 데네즈는 레롱친 손에 간다요 사레스 어때찍데레 아니 요 단단데 퍼비 로지 테소는 단다 사르자송 거니 진 케벤제 퍼비 로지레 아니 소도 발로리 잔살아서 퍼비 로지 모보치노 가르스는 오지 요들 데니 단다 onshū maññiṣi tsađye sāyāndade, te māyīmbīgī tani chi khandrōmi kore, tani rīchī kārdiyā gā lhāsō re, tan dōr nāni chi sōngā gā lhāsō mōbō sīndi ōjīñi dī chōngī sirvā, te sōng jā re. Te sōng de tā tāndā ngā sōng gāndi ōri sāndā sōng tōna, di khandrōma nāndyamā tūchī tsāwshī ndar yorvā, ndar chī yore. Te māyīmbīgī gārī nāp sōng sāchā ndilā, sōngā dōrjī tarpī gā lhāsō hālē mōbō chīndwa, ten ke parda ne che penata ndi ni sonja di penate pagina de tu tsapsi no no jintok son ni bon de bi gane khando ma mo che yore ani jintok tanda de son ni bo ma son di ba no de ba che dor don de ba ta te chanton de de ji ta pa jaga khrocha ke chatna ti gane son khan tembi ga tanda nga su jintok te so yo ji mi de che jin ba lab do te che de nga ha le gan de ba chen bo chi ti par on de ba chen the ne gande mi chi ta na 용 전대치 토요 나스 어때 찍대래 드니 단다 용 그런 뭐 챙겼더니 내가데 녀라 님아 버저데 때 많이 미기다 근데 단다가 손데 파르치알로선 능고야 축근 나한 타야라선다 나그 투지 침바로 저렇게 뱀만이 나선데 축근 나한 타야지 데라 나그 투지 침바 데라 저렇게 뱀만이 나선다 저렇게 뱀만이 나세데 팍팍 신라지 바데 데 드분도아 데 송어와 대 나오지 chen carton pache no da carton pache no la pakpa shenre zi dingren boji shenji la ja da zomboli de shen zomboli gu oje chebra de po konchen juna ngren boji pakpa shenre zi number traba ngren boji pe ne ani zomboli gendoi tonze re setini loji ane yong de ngdo teji ta tanda nga chon de ne ji uda girin de ne jingr tanda de pakpa shenre zi shaji be ku tere ti jalo ge yege te so che te maim be ta don shenre zi ku mo bo chin do ti par tende ge ne chi ndreno ta don ne chi samo jin choyo sa re chue ta te che teni te so che ta ti shiba nga ba tere tere de karsa ngurun bojin namje yangra za te ngurun senje se ngurun senje se da 천천히 이제 짝씩 세 된디근이 지용도와 대소마 동아 좀 그런 보징은 체 뭐보다 찬사 신고 말해 지용 그때 발치야 넘세다 선발하는 대소네 그런 체 만다 용그라 단다 아니지 특히 상제리바 같은 지 까통 탈랑사자 서진 취해서 까통도 domba chenpo chi yore. Ti nongla tenge ngomani tong chushila tagaza garan boje namta denge ne katong de dam jaimba. Damjong za ja denge ne sholo kan ja samja chi zoi. Ti no ta garan boje nga sen mandanda guchu koje tambaras. Guchu koje tamba de guchu koje teone rere jinde kong namta rere rendo ma to yonchi 대가 좀 세마 동자디 많이 받지라 배나 배차자 가지고 럽된 척세다는데 가르치는 럽된 척세 따라서 뱀마 갸르보스네 가르치는 뱀마 갸르보 따라서 니마 워저는 가르니마 워저 따라서 대 노지치는 거는 뭐지 생년으로 구치 고지야 담방에라 다다 요지래 등에 다디 실자자 할래 티까 좀 것도 말아 어때지디 단다 나총 근디니 거는 뭐지 생제 찍본데 신주지바 많이 받지 천천히 그 딱지 때문에 신주지바 많이 받지라 그런 뭐진 생전놈도 용어서 접방아서 쳐는 아니 신주지 간대 땅도 때 가래는 따지 요치제 가서 라서 받지래도 단단히 니 때래 가서 단단히 따라나서 친종은 늘었지 그래. 속pen shopje nombo lama de dorje turbare se chigra. dorje turba. Tene shenke yore de te sonjare. Ta 속pen shopje nombo de orisal sing shedi nga sota yansa trapanda de pechi tsolmere red de ndo. Ani ta dorje turba senke de tene shatong de tanda dorje turba jemba de yorwa. Yina tanda ani chi कातों सर्जिन थे तीनों दोरजी ट्रबा से गरन बजिन सैन नाम रोची योंग दो गरन बजिन सैन नाम दोरजी ट्रबा से ची योंग दो ताते दोरजी ट्रबा से ते सेवा ते तारा नाता चिचियों नो दोरजी ट्रबा से ते दां अने कातों सेंटिनो यो भी दोरजी ट्रबा का ची रे दो ची थादे रे दो कर रे दो ता कासे इन दे ओरिसाला दोरजी ट्रबा से के नि कोंजा ची चोन्यों दे चोन्यों मन दो रवा ते थांचे nga song te रेनो पा ची तो ने ची पेचे ने 디지 맨로 선비 손로 다테 땡코르소 다테 토마토게 모보즈 다테 카츠 티소 톤토마토 맨디 모보모보 시에메 아니 첸넘바 탄체 요치 토와 트네 다트나 요네 치 콘투토네 시초 다탄다 콩거네 지 케디 콩 이지곤 치 송그레네 넘바 탄체 선노로 지 쉬이 가딘체
Astuche Kempo. That was Kempo Champion Noble. Ani the inji tolaya sungshe di jurnarawal. This campus presentation will be now translated in English, will be read out.
We pray our deepest respect to His Eminence Ketu Jigmen of Rinpoche, Semola Tatakunzongmo, respected scholars, Sangha, tantric practitioners, and faithful devotees. With it is with a great humility and gratitude that I stand before you today at this extreme gathering. As a Tibetan to English translator, I must humbly admit that I'm uncertain how eloquent or precise my words will be in conveying the depth of this idea we share here. Language is a bridge, but sometimes it is a challenging one to cross, especially when dealing with complex thoughts and profound insights. Primarily as a Tibetan to English translator, I have the profound privilege of serving as a bridge, connecting cultures, histories, philosophies across vast linguistic and geographical boundaries. Language is more than just words. It is a vessel of culture, identity, and wisdom. In my work, I strive to ensure that the rich spiritual traditions, philosophical insights, and vibrant culture narratives are conveyed with accuracy, respect, and depth. This task is both responsibility and a privilege, one that acquires not only linguistic proficiency but also a deep understanding and appreciation of the cultural context from which these words originated. Today, as we engage in this dialogue and exchange ideas, I'm reminded of the importance of mutual understanding and intercultural dialogue of fostering peace, compassion, and shared knowledge. It is through this conversation that we can transcend differences and build a bridge of empathy and cooperation. Nevertheless, I'm committed to doing my best to faithfully and thoroughly translate it, with the hope that the essence of speech reaches all of you clearly and meaningfully. My sincere wish is that this relation foster understanding, inspiration, and mutual respect among us. So, to begin what Khenpo has delivered, so now I will deliver the fundamental principles. Her Eminence, Dr. Kunzang Wangmo, the daughter of noble families, His Eminence, Dr. Chokdar Rinpoche, Kunga Galek Namgyal has invited me to the sacred great site of Diamond Triangle on the occasion of the second Great Mahaguru Prayer Festival, organized by the Odisha State Government. During this event, an intellectual symposium has been confirmed on the connection between Guru Padmasambhava and the sacred sites where the sacred mantra and the teaching has flourished. I was repeatedly requested to participate in this event and deliver a presentation on this topic, which I couldn't refuse. I personally have never conducted any research regarding the second Buddha Padmasambhava or the supreme sacred site of Odisha. Consequently, I certainly have no wisdom nectar that would be particular benefit to the great scholar present here. However, I have accepted the invitations considering the auspiciousness of place, time, and the teacher. Thus, based on my conceptual thoughts, I shall present a brief talk titled Seeking the Connection Between Odisha and Padmasambhava, consisting of 5 points. Number 1, historic introduction. Number 2, revealing the great qualities of body, speech, and mind. Number 3, an overview of the formation of Padmasambhava's biography. Number 4, seeking the connection between Odisha and Padmasambhava. Number 5, an overview of the various names that appear in Kathang. So, topic number 1, historical introduction. The second Buddha Padmasambhava has been regarded for 1,000 years from approximately the later part of 8th century until the 21st century as an inseparable jewel in the heart, the sublime refuge, the Lord among the scholars, the supreme leader of accomplished masters, a possessor of power and miraculous abilities, and an extraordinary person of supreme accomplishment for the people of Tibet in general and countless Himalayan devotees. Based on the firm recognition and faith of his devotees in him, his blessings and compassion are showered into their mind streams. So to commemorate his kindness, the devotees have sculptured, painted, and handwritten as a representation of his body, mind, and speech, which can be considered among the greatest creation in this entire world. The devotees of the great master have never recognized him as an ordinary person, but rather as a sublime human transcendent from the worldly humans. The source of this are described in the Nyingma tradition, where history is narrated through three methods: the long lineage of oral transmission known as Kama in Tibetan, the close lineage of treasure tradition known as Terma in Tibetan, and the profound path of pure vision known as Dangnan in Tibetan. Timely, I will explain starting with the first point as the main focus of the discussion. So with this, it concluded the point number 1. So to begin, point number 2.
Gondata, tu se mamura yo martal.
Less.
Kama sumshinala.
Less.
Less.
So number 2, revealing the qualities of body, speech, and mind. So to summarize and to say what Khenpo has spoken, so it is explain his qualities of body, speech, and mind in Samten Migden, in Purpe Chejong, that was found in that still we can find in the Tonghang manuscript, and the Basanang Yesheba, the known as Testament of Basarnang, and the Tabki Shagwape Metongwa, which was composed by the great master himself. So number 3, an overview of formation of Padmasambhava's biography. So these are thoroughly and well explained in the life of liberation of Padmasambhava, the treasure revealed in 1352 by Yargye Ojen Lingpa, who was the treasure revealer of early 14th centuries. So number 4, seeking the connection between Odisha and Padmasambhava. So what Khenpo has mentioned is that, so if we judge and if we analyze what it is preached in Terma and Kama tradition, and if we preach looking to this local informations, so there might be a connection that there might be a connection between Padmasambhava and Odisha. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Translation. Perfect. So that saved me a lot of time. I don't have to again speak in English what the Khenpo has said. So our next speaker is Kentrul Jermit Dorje. Please come on the stage, and he will be speaking on life story of Guru Padmasambhava within India. Thank you.
Tingi ki tiri keje joshade jagaram poyin julopon jungure pemma sambhav namtar dodi samji shavas terandula. Then my today presentation is hagiography called compendium of the Indian Master Guru Pema Sambhavas. Tingi titse mombo jinde tini jofya tingi nyuj mat yomare. Tingi inji the pe nyadama nyamdala chagi. Tiri inderpeyo bakala thongman sundu tashi deleges. I extend my cordial gratitude and tashi dele to all esteemed participants gathered here today. Nyecher chabji tatur mochi semo omola ne pande dolin dalachi petang che sho sugundu tene ya kondom batemba shula tusum jachembo tujine shola no yodi da kondom jatyo gutsinda wachene tsalya mato tinga sundi misaga namji ngir lobjo de jimju konda tinde ngola chenyo yo mara yo tisu tutu matam da wachi na wasim bundu tene jimju konda manda rata masa yinayo pecha kashelo ne tene me si kashe jetu na chenam baleo nyeje patne chegore. Recently Omola, the daughter Chabji Tato Rinpoche, formally requested my participation in this symposium. Find myself unable to decline her mandate. I have presented myself here. Chabji Tato Rinpoche has demonstrated extraordinary benevolence toward the general Buddhist doctrine. Furthermore, I have encountered historical accounts substantiated by modern research methodologies, asserting that Guru Rinpoche physically visited or Guru Rinpoche was born here. I some before read books, Guru Rinpoche is visited in the Odisha. But I come here yesterday, many scholars talk Guru Rinpoche is born here. This region of Odisha, motivated primarily by the aspiration to visit these sacred sites. I have traveled here. However, as I have not conducted specialized research into the life of Pema Sambhava, I have not novel findings to present. I therefore request the assemblies indulgence. Tinayo shuru oji chimbo na jawa kinjin tulla chiti deba. Ta ngege yo namji karuso no togo rezina Guru Rinpoche de tachi jena ngazu chulu ga samsi injire. Rowa me shemche rangse pa yo pachi nge so no togo yo mare. Tina Guru Rinpoche tayo mi rinzi ka nambar. Mi namba ka tsiru zuna Guru Rinpoche pe yo pachi ma tayo. Ngazu namji pecha no chuku lonka tuku sugu de tayo. Ngazu chemche rangse pa tato yo pachi so no to na tata pachi dega mare rao tenji nge namji samsi chi nge tinte temi ho re. In general, the great master of Ojin represents the unified, enlightened activity of all Sagatas, manifested in the form of a human. He is not to be subject to the ontological constraints of ordinary birth and death. When discussing his hagiography, one must approach it through two dimensions, the common and the uncommon. To do otherwise would render any account of his life story partial. For this occasion, I shall provide a concise summary categories into three modalities. In a case of Guru Rinpoche, Namta the Neshagudi, Jefsha Saction Dawda, Ramba Sam Joyore, Ramba Tombo the Natsun Roa me, Nambi Gunan, do it to condense orders and in Tam Kitchen Moja Kazuko Nambaga, Susasa. Then Nimbang was a Tano Mola, was tapping Nomola on Guru Rinpoche, do the current Zagares and Kija, Rambanimba Tejora. And somebody Zamoter Gigone, then do it to condense Zagares and Rambanda thing, some Gonisha orders. This summary consists of three parts. 1. The manner of acting for the benefit of beings through a human form. 2. The manner of acting for the benefit of beings within the perception of pure visions. 3. The manner of acting for the benefit of beings through the profound treasure tradition. Then Tatumbo was on Roa Meta the Kuntuna Kuntusa Kavares. The Kuntus de Langat Namji that Mobosu Sasa, Nakis and Dobel Lucido, and it's the Chis and Dobel Luzana, Nambani Lerundua. Then Nakis and Dobayana, Kavantu order, the Chis and Dobajana, Kavantu orders in a Kajatabutarandua. The first part, the modality of human manifestation, the geographies of birth. According to the assertions of miraculous birth. 1. An island in the middle of Sindhu Ocean. 2. An island in Dhanakosha Ocean. 3. The land of the Dhanakosha Ocean. 4. The peak of Monte Malaya, blazing meteoric irons. Kuntusa de la Tanya Manda Kashi Levundua. Then Nimbanga Nakis and the Batella, then Nakis and the Belula, Guru Rinpoche, Kawakawan to others in the Tegeo, such an incident which is Kashi Sugundua. According to the assertion of womb birth, 1. The land of Odiana. 2. The land of Zahor. 3. The India scholar Enku Sahu also states that he was born in Odisha. Fourth, the majority of scholars assert that he was born in the Swat Valley in the region of Peshawar, a city in modern day of Pakistan. Tini undinu manga sushuto tangomak tisi ina Pakistan shoina jaga yili yamba. Tingo pemma katon la sobanalo jaga yili chambo kaza yoba. Tini oji gi yedanga jaga yamba oji ngete matores. Tini tema imbanguru rumboche ga drta nolina 단당하라서 답지 원수 전보도 아니 창다도 아니 그런 보체게 šan세도 드니 자그다 넘버 망보지 되는 그런 보체데 자가지 펜트다 임방은저 선매양다레스 답하고 말해서 택게저런도 according to the Pema Katang within the exposition of the 9 great continents of the India subcontinent. It is explicitly stated the continent of Odiyana in the western direction. Consequently, the land of origin is identified as an integral regional territory within India. Furthermore, an examination of the bodily ornaments of Pema Sambhava revealed profound correlation with traditional Indian aesthetic customs. Moreover, the specific style his colored mustache distinctly characterizes the typical appearance of Indian person. Within the Dharma treasure corpus of Guru Rinpoche, there are also numerous liturgical practices, sadhana, dedicated to deities such as Mahadeva and Ganesh. Therefore, the fact that Pema Sambhava manifested as an India master is a matter beyond any scholarly doubt. Sometimes joke my India friends. Pema Sambhava is from India. My friend, many Hinduism people. Shiva is from Tibet. Shiva is living in the Monte Kailash. Monte Kailash is from Tibet. So, additionally, as he does not possess ordinary birth and death, I believe there is no contradiction whether one asserts a warm birth or a miraculous birth. Then Guru Rinpoche Yabji was said the Mandava Mamboshindua, Yagan said the Manda Mambo and Kashakaji Deore, and the engine Malo and the Chipper and Rogandola. Regarding their father, there appear to be many ways of answering his father, such as King Indrabodhi of Ojin, King Menusutta of Ojin, King Tochuchen of Zahon, King Indrabodhi, King Tarsu Garden, Ki Shemen Jordan, Ki Paranja Kenta, King Jalbo Kagishana. Although many assertions exist, they are condensed into those who assert him as a physical son and those who assert him as a hard son. Dino Guru Rinpoche kuntu tichita ngomma mosu sara Guru Rinpoche kadin tuyo rezene tango tu namji mochi and dabata de shego judde kaju tagono Guru Rinpoche tamba nyangalan dene ta lo jedana the yang sing hodon do jona tamba nyangalan dene lo chunyo suru ndo ta kodare the date of birth according to the Guranga Tandra it is said 110 years means to have passed after my pre-nirvana, in accordance with the many of these prophecy and others. It is 8 years after the Buddha displayed the manner of passing into pre-nirvana. Also, from the Nirvana Sutra, 12 years have passed after my pre-nirvana on an island in the lake of Stainless, Danakosha. in the western direction of the land of Ojin. From the heart of a lotus flower, a big superior to myself will emerge. Between those two accounts, the latter but 12 years after the Buddha's parinirvana is the more famous. During Guru Rinpoche and Sanjan Mdoko, Tandang Sanjan Madrod, was on Keramboji Chumpeke, Egan Donotola, Mojan Sundos, Tenati Indio, Kogina Jimju Pepida upon Nondo, Namji and Kembo Kog Jimjugal, that the other. Then again, Dunuma Kashi, Engine to the Malangara. Enumeration of names from Guru Rinpoche names, Pemba Sambawa, the Pemba Jabo Sambawa, Lopan Pemba Sambawa, Kembo Ajaya Pemba Sambawa, Prince of Ojin Bishu Pemba Sambawa, Pemba June, Lopan Pemba, Oje Pemba, Tukusoshi Doji, King Tochuchen, Shandirashita, Doji Tabosal, and Doji Tondisal Tukupemban Junes. And while very many names exist, there are the universally renowned at manifestation of the Guru, Gurun Seje. Nomori Pemban June, Pemba Sambawa, Nima Goze, Shacha Singe, Lobden Chose, Pemba Jabo, Singe Dadong, Doju Tolore. And in Guru Rinpoche, in my Lama Kanda theories, Tango you know me and thoughts of the Shagudi, Lama Tesako, the Levando, the Lama Tesako, the Makashi Levando. Relies on spiritual teachers. Lopad Pema Sambawa is said to have relied upon approximately 52 spiritual masters such as Lopon Shurisiha, Lopon Parataba Harshita, Lopon Grabdoji, and Lopon Manjushri Mitra. Namjing also Tango, Lamazaga, and Lama, the Chida Nimba, Mazo Tipar Jacheva, the Julu Monte Tiba, look at Tuntish, so down the Gemalona, Monte Tiba, look at Tuntish, Nanjima Payana, Monte Tigores, Monte Tibas, the Julu Chida, some Mobotiva. Lama in the Lama Chimba, Lama Mobo, Tisona, then Nanjima Bagtembans, the Vicky Chagares, Monte Tiba, look at Tuntish, Paragonja, he belonged in Basu detail. Mazunima Bagalama Chunjunambaya, Lama Mobok and then Hondo, Mangado, Damwado, the Julu Moboti, the Pemanda Kachamba inside the Egyptian to the Doyo, but the Jonda, Jando, in the Ira. And the new tongue in the Matarana, Sunon Sikashi Togundua, Lama Guru Moja Lama Tesokonda, and there wasn't Demagojera. From the Hagi Oga Fee endowed with 3 faiths of by Jono Jatantaranatha. From the treatise Master Shandirupa, he requested empowerments of Griya, Jaya and Yoga Tandara. From the merchant sons Sangadeva and Sangadari, he requested the Dharma circles of the inner sacred mantra. From the Mangada master Buddhanjanapata, he heard the Panchaparamita. From his student Buddhanguha, he obtained Yoga Tandara, empowerments and instructions. He also requested many empowerments from Buddhanjanapata, including the Guha Samaja, Mahajala, Chandanguha, Tilaka, and Buddha Samayoga. Tenung Guru Rinpoche Takono Galami Kajan that Teneo Jagaga Sachu Kashil Pesako Tesundogundua. According to his teacher's comment in the Sarshishir forest north of Pendu city on eastern Bengal, India, he performed the sadhana of Shri Heruka. It is said he built a small Tara temple at the Kamalashila. Furthermore, in that some texts, it is said in the east, west, south, and central regions of India, he performed actions for the benefit of beings, primarily those mentioned above. Beyond that, from the north of that Konga rivers of Nepal, he greatly benefited beings even more, so his benefit was great in the land of Ndrodi. He was the first to attempt that regions, and his followers remain very numerous there to these days. 다들 때문에 많이 된 것을 비에 강제 줄요 패스걸 또는 된 자가가 줄요 패스걸 때서는 말려근데 된 때문에 명아서 오리사 등아서 남기 내치 니시 사주소라 성화가 템바타서 들었더니 영 변당아서 아랑지 근데 내치 니시 사주세네 다들 것을 지대걸 인주세는 뭐 삼마다 뭐니마걸 내 니시 사주 차서걸 때서 다신다고 만든마도 집에 전적으로 내 니시 사주 논이 되네요 지등아서 오리사 임부터 술도군도 Even greater than that was his benefit in Tibet. As it is said, he traveled throughout East and West India. The statement that he visited this place, Odisha, is also considered to be reasonable among the 24 great sacred sites of sacred mantra. There are those who identified the land of origin is being Kalika, modern day of Kalika is modern day in Odisha. These accounts were written primarily following his human manifestation, the hagiographies of those who have attained the state of union and are difficult to describe. 대형 어쩌더니 마인 그러는 버칠 하는 쓴보이다. 간다지 패래서 지금 그 비비가 순나니 그러는 버치 변해봐. 하는 쓴보일 패어서. 는 로디가 열로 순나요. 그러는 버치든 로디네. 되는 지네봐. 되는 하는 쓴보일 패어서. 되는 요때 마인 방가서 네 지금 노니마 그러는 버치 자가 가사칼 패어서. 된다 인자 오리살에 패어서. 듣고지려고도. Furthermore, while Tibetan described how Lopapema Sambhava went from Tibet to the land of Rakshasas, those from Ndrodi describe how he went from Ndrodi to the land of the Rakshasas. In the comparative of pilgrimage guides, Light of the New Golden Age, it is written the Lopapema Sambhava went to the India Channel, ground of Hagopa and Suvalsal, Naropa's practice places Pulahari, Vulture Peak Mountain, and Lake Pemachan in the land of Zahor. Lopa Pema Sambhava traveled throughout all of East and West India. The detailed hagiography should be learned from other sources. Although Guru Rinpoche is before and went to Nalanda University. This was Then this one, the home Gichano, you must show chunches as a Yendua. The home Gichano, Karan Yendosunatani, the Guru Rinpoche, the Jaga, Pachin Guru Rinpoche, in Batankan Dauche, the Jaga Chunji Jabose, they were produced the Pula Perez. The name Pula, the name also do the Jachin Bunze, Pula Masarashu, Mimic, then the Kikacholo, Daniga, a Kurta Jachin Bochesado. The name Pen is embarking the name of the two Koran Bochel Pen, the Devanzes. Tenete koran boshene jiz ngazu chusa gipenda lasa soye the sandin zedin goro moji pewres lasa soye jibi kasun goro moji lo kashelo denyo return down rivi lo jidne legondo tene tande gi ishade tin goro moji pene la jana la pe jana ro zanga le ju tene jina jana ne la tene jagal pese ko ga ichan yini ji ngandano chuore de kandan ro chere ate kolndro machi jigi according to the accounts found within the Tuhum treasured manuscripts regarding the hagiography of Guru Pema Sambhava. Devaputra, the son of Dhammaranja of India, journeyed to the land of Tibet. Upon his arrival, he provided spiritual instruction and conferred empowerments upon all the local deities and sovereign rulers of Tibet. Furthermore, he engaged in profound meditative retreat to mountain Kailash in Upper Tibet and performed ritual ablutions in the lake Mena Savar. He subsequently traveled to Mount Wuti in China, where he didn't contently the sublime majority. Moreover, it is documented that during his return journey from China to India, he traveled via the region of Sensu. The existence of a meditation cave belonging to Guru Pema Sambhava at Monte Kailash, explicitly reserved in the aforementioned pilgrimage guides. Tunin dinu Guru Rinpoche karong gutene tanga zuchu zo gyurugo jirchi lana tene jirchi da Rinpoche lagundon Guru Rinpoche do tene pyoje lazawa nyamda jine tene chu kaze jiriyo rezene diso koze pene jinju zo gude chu se jado jinrawo jinyendo tene pyon Guru Rinpoche karong peke shisa reso peke Guru Rinpoche ke pyoje lazawa la matine Guru Rinpoche koro chipu gutene dar hodyo no kase horese jidela pachi chise nishsa dizo nyew sare te mai be pemman Guru Rinpoche khanon ga tsamchi dela menga tanti la soba so jinju che de pachi samju soju songda tang te Guru Rinpoche samju soju soba de tani Guru Rinpoche sudela ter de sonwa jido ter de maso wari namba nyusu go sare ana ter de maso vi gata dela pani chuse dela samju samjin rawoji nyew rezana pachi tinde ko alen go sare pyoge tanda enumeration of translation and compositions according to tracing the footprints of Penma Sambhava. 104 Dharma texts were found translated by the Ojin Kempo Penman Junne with Tibet translators of the early and later periods. Approximately 27 texts were translated by Pentata Pema Sambhava himself. Regarding compositions, approximately 34 texts were found, such as the Garland of Visions, Essential Instructions, and commentary on the chanting of the names of Manjushri. Tinin mangaso zamma tano jikone. Tangin Guru Rinpoche ngaso namta tinja widi ani ngaso ro mi nasa ta de kondishwa no jene the chipe mai baje zamma tano kol ko kache more de nga zamma tano kol te zama teore bena jawnga baga ani ngaso tano so jaji kuchisu ni sanga ndo jiwa tenoji tene kamma ba la soba pyekin keba mamboji la zamma tano ngol Guru Rinpoche ngis jazine tene ngis Guru Rinpoche ga sutine 당어서 드타코도 되는 냠래가 로주고 그런 방 뭐지 되는지 되어래. 다 잠마 단노고도 가서 남지 단노를 제바 숨다고도 잠마 단노 제지도 딩인 저거 또 받쳐봐지 이제라 요 그러서도 딩인 저거 또 받쳐봐지 맨날 잠마 단노도 받쳐서 오선말에. 근데 많이 봐 가서 그거를 뭐지 대파도 단노 영에도 딩딩 이나 손대 쟁을 술라요. Guru Rinpoche ngis janjawado nolol miado parchisewado ta cheprajigo momboyora jido so ngosum Guru Rinpoche nendalam 2 minutes ngos tiragon rotora mato ngosum Guru jinju inazit kadi molotana kadi sowatana kondo sowatana denun Guru Rinpoche yobad mato ichigore tengo. The second part, the modality of profound pure visions. In the pure visions of many past great beings, they directly meet the great origin, Pamasambhava, received the nature of his speech, and were granted many dharma patents. For example, the 25 circles of the sacred sealed pure visions of the 5th Dalai Lama and the Amitaya Sadhana granted to the 9th Kammapa Tuatoden. To those who have attained stable and special concentrations, this hagiography of receiving Dharma circles through pure visions is one manner of his benefit. Furthermore, For those with 50 who constantly pray to the great Guru, there are many accounts of meeting him in dreams and meditative experiences, whereby negative conditions are discipled and excellent science occurs. The Nasomba thing is a matter of Multizeo, a Kajakashi to Tore. The Norzonomjis Guru Rinpoche, the Kawa Vegasina, social Tangim Benga Kadim Chuganila, Mulonka Getabado.
Kamakashi Chimatamindu Shui.
The third of part, the modality of profound treasures, the grand audience sealed essential instructions in the hearts of fortunate ones through aspirations and empowerments. He entrusted the symbolic lineages of the usurpers to the darkness and gardens within clear voice. To achieve benefit in the final times, he gave prophecies including the science of place and time. This is the lineage of the prophetic command. He made a prayer of mental entrustment, saying, in that future time, may this awaken clearly in your hearts. As a preparatory for that time, the master and disciples together made this prayer. This is the lineage of empowerment through aspiration. In that time, the lineage of examples is found without error, and the Dharma spirits. To ensure the door of secrecy is not breached by the unfortunate, it was entrusted to the Mammon darkness. This is the lineage of the darkness entrustment. These three merged with the three common lineages are now as a lineage endowed with sixfold power. Furthermore, the methodology is described as follows. Although the words and meaning of the Dharma may be sealed within the mind that is subject to the influence of karmic winds, such a basis in the inherently mutable and prone to transition. Consequently, as one travels the precious passage of numerous births and deaths during the degenerate age, it is exceedingly difficult for the teachings not to suffer from eternal depletion of corruptions. Therefore, it is taught that the Master merged the teachings into the space of the indestructible bindu of pure awareness reaper or mind. By doing so, he rendered the transmission stable and immutable. And sorry, it could never be appropriated or diminished by external circumstances. In India, Nepal, Bhutan, Tibet, and Motawiti, he hid many blessed supporters as treasures. He blessed many practices, places, and established countless beings on the path of repenting and liberation. Even the manuals of the 6 Pardos, famous in the world, emerged from his treasures. A single sadhana like the Mandoli Banjarasadava is also complete path, preliminaries, main practice, and in conclusions rooted in compassion, bodhicitta, and emptiness. The hagiography and kindness of Guru Rinpoche are beyond thought and aspiration. Finally, I offer prayer that all beings in this world may enjoy the glory of peace. Ani tashi dele sumar tu ches.
Tushe, Lasso, Kermish, Tushe. That was a wonderful paper and pieces, and I'm also happy that he spoke English and Tibetan at the same time. So I think everybody understood. Here I would like to say today is actually the second day of our conference on Guru Padmasambhava's life and legacy, particularly relating to Odisha. We have gathered here monks from all over the Buddhist countries, from Theravada to Mahayana to Vajrayana, and also communities from all over the world. And here I would like to say Shri Balwant Singh Ji is Secretary of the State Tourism Department. He is most welcome. And if you see today we are sitting in a beautiful tent and wonderful setup. It was not there in 1 month before when he came here, and I was also there. And under his instruction, his care and his oversight, he has mobilized the entire team under him. It's really incredibly kind and making this such a beautiful host for us. So we would like to really thank you from the bottom of our heart, and I would like to give to Mrs. Wang to say a few words.
Thank you so much. Sri Balwant Singh is really the instrumental for why we're here today. We've had really this incredible opportunity to work closely with him and his vision to creating more activities here. And we signed an MOU with their department and also the Ministry of Culture. And this is the fruit of that, and we hope many other Buddhist activities will be coming up here. Balwant Singh has a big vision for developing Udagiri, Ratnagiri, and Lalitgiri. And this is one of the programs that they have funded and they would like to support to bring more of the Himalayan community as well as the international community. And sir, we would like to report to you that we had 1,900 registered formally and more than 13 countries who were present here. And so thanks to you, we can all be under this beautiful canopy recognizing Guru Padmasambhava. And this conference, which is sponsored by the Ministry of Culture and Odia Language, is beginning to open our eyes and our heart and understanding to the life and legacy of Guru Padmasambhava, as well as the root of Vajrayana. This has been Odisha's line of best kept secret, but now we don't want it to be a secret. We want this to be open to the world and for many people to come here and to tell their friends why this place is so important. Bodh Gaya, of course, we have the seat of enlightenment, but we want this to be the second place where people come to after Bodh Gaya. So we will be working hopefully closely with you to bring connectivity and bring many of the monastics here, because without the spiritual energy for these sites, we cannot really activate this. So that's why Jurong Monastery through Rinpoche and many lamas here, Lama Sonam, who is the key organizer this year, and with many of his monks, many of the attendees here from different countries, are all their heart and sentiment is here with you, sir. So thank you for being so welcoming, so open to opening this. It's very meaningful for us, a lifetime of people's practice. Many of these practitioners have been spending their entire life practicing with Guru Rinpoche in their heart. And also scholars who are here on the dais who have been researching this. So this is very meaningful. So Shri, I know you don't want to say a few words, but please just a few words for us to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Wangmo. Thanks, Rinpoche, and all Lamas, followers present here. I am not a speaker. Always I avoid speaking, but this is insistence. I have come on stage. We are executive. We have to be working behind the doors, behind the backstage. Our Honorable Minister, Tourism and Culture, they were here yesterday. I am sure they have explained what government is planning. But it's very special about this land. It's a very sacred, and whatever it is being organized, I feel it is because of the sacredness of this place. And I'm sure this good start will go in a long way. We are doing lot of big thing on planning wise, infrastructure wise and all. But I would apologize if any discomfort has been to any of you. Our team is trying hard to provide basic amenities, but this is all due to team, and if anything wrong, then it can come to me. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, very wonderful again. And we continue now. Our next speaker will be Dr. Omar Kanta Mishra. So please come on the stage, and he will deliver on some Buddhist tantric masters of Odisha and their works. Please.
Thank you so much. Namaste to all. Organ Rinpoche, Last Salwadef, my prayer to Guru Padmasambhava. There is a slight change on the insistence of the organizer. My humble gratitude to both ILBD as well as State of Odisha to have organized this ceremony as well as conference. And as part of that, I am equally beholden to the organizer for inviting me to make my case. The original title was Some Buddhist Tantric Masters of Odisha, but I include all the Tantric Masters within the rubric of Padmasambhava, and then I'll be obviously dealing with these masters, but also trying to prove that there is a strong case for Padmasambhava and Odisha. Before I start with this, please go back. I'll give the instructions. But before I start with this important document, this is written in maybe 9th and 10th century Proto-Sanskrit, Proto-Nagari as we call them. It's on the back slab of this Jatamukuta Lokeshwara, not far off in the Udayagiri site. And there I'll point out two key evidence. There is a reference in this Dharani, this 21 sentence Dharani, and as part of that Dharani, in line 11, you will see Padmasambhave. And also, you will see that there is another Raja, King Subhakara, and his wife. There is some confusion regarding the reading of that line. I read it as Subhakara only, but a Japanese scholar, Koyama, reads it along with his wife. And then I'll take both dates together to make a case that both of them are very contemporary. You know that Padmasambhava went to Tibet in 749, and it's the date is 747, 749. It's about Suklavakya Dasami Tithi, and we have that. And then, we are talking of a ruler, Subhakara Deva I, a Bhoma ruler who ruled over Odisha, coastal Odisha in 8th century, and he ruled from 792 to 824. Therefore, you look at the juxtapositions of the dates, and then before I start with that, then I'll talk about the structure of my presentations. I'll be dealing with largely what Padmasambhava learned from various masters and how these masters are also to be associated with Odisha. Then the third part will be to look at what kind of
things that he learned, including, from a lady master he saw 48 wrathful deity, 48 peaceful deity and 58 wrathful deity. We will look at the footprint of these wrathful as well as peaceful deities in Odisha. Therefore, in toto, I will be making a presentations that whether Odiyana is Swat or in Odisha depends on the kind of things that Padmasambhava learnt in his life, and what he learnt and what he preached clearly indicates strong connections with Odisha, including the masters and what these masters taught to Padmasambhava. But before I do so, I must also share with all of you that Odisha has the earliest and the latest connection with Buddhism, and these two spans makes Odisha the longest, having the longest connections with Buddhism. Odisha is the only state in the subcontinent which has the earliest connections as well as latest connections. The Buddhist Pali canonical text Mahabharata says that just after the enlightenment of Buddha, two merchants of Ukkala Desha, that is Tapasu and Bhallika, gave Madhupinda to Buddha Sakyamuni just after enlightenment at Bodh Gaya. That makes Utkala, which is another name of Odisha, the earliest connections with Buddhism. Buddha converted these two merchants to his religions, gave his Kesha hair, and they went to found the Kesha Stupa. That's the earliest connections. Then apart from, from 13th century onwards, we have clear evidence of decline of monastic Buddhism, but we have from Nepal, from Asiatic Society of Bengal, clearly suggesting that Buddhism continued in 1326 AD in Greater Magadha region, because we have also Pragyaparamita manuscript being written by some monks in Bodh Gaya or nearby Bodh Gaya region in 1326. Japanese scholars are also working on it. Therefore, the so-called decline because of Mohammedan invasion, Bakhtiyar Khilji invasion needs to be revisited, including obviously there are no invasions of Turuskas or Muslims in Odisha, but clear evidence suggests that Buddhism as a monastic religion started declining from 13th century, even though it continued in other subterranean forms. And it continued right into 19th century, when census began to appear as an official apparatus of the state, of colonial state. In 1911, people of 6 villages in Puri district and 6 villages in Cuttack district, precisely Maniabandha in Cuttack district, they reported themselves as Buddhist. It's not about, Neo-Buddhism after Ambedkar or the Himalayan Buddhism that existed right from Padmasambhava's days, but about the continuations of Greater Magadhan Buddhism well into 19th century in Odisha. 1843 Buddhists themselves reported to be Buddhist long before the coming of 1956 Navanaya or conversion of Ambedkar into Buddhism. Then I straight away come to this important document, because Dr. Richard Dixon told me to focus on this, and therefore I am focusing. Please go to the next slide. So this dharani starts with a dharma hetu prabhav from Pratitya Samutpada Sutta, and there are, these dharanis are dismissed, these are considered to be protective spells, but these are actually consecratory mantras during various, stupa or other kind of consecrations. Namo Bhagavate Sakya Munaye Tathagata Arhate Samyak Sambudhe, from third line, Tadyatha Om Buddhi 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 Prahara Prahara Sarva Tathagata Gochare Dhara Dhara Hara 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 Prahara Prahara Maha Buddhi Pratishte Maha Buddhi Chitta Dhare Chulu Chulu Satarasmi Sanchodita Sarva Tathagata Abhishek, clearly suggesting a Tathagata Garbha Stupa being consecrated. And look at this, 11 line, I have also did so. In Tathagatanam Hruta Bhuvana Dhara 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 Chulu Chulu Sarva Tathagata Dhatu Dhare Padma Sambhave Jaya Dhara Mudre Chulu Smara Tathagata Dharma Chakra Parvat. Then I come to 14th. Chala Chala Om Maharaja Sri Subhakara Devasya Devyam wife. That's the problem regarding the reading. Sarva Papa Bhara Nahi Sarva Papa. And then it goes up to, and then the name of the Dharani is said, it's a Vimala Usnisha Dharani. Clearly indicating that here is a case and where Padma Sambhava is mentioned in locative, that is Saptami Ekavachana, and he is coterminous and temporally almost very close to, as I told you, the Momakara king Subhakara Singh, Subhakara Deva. Subhakara Deva ruled over Odisha from 792 to 1824. Padma Sambhava went to Tibet in 749, came back obviously. Whether he again went back or not, we don't know, but there might be a possibility that his apparitional body only went. And most likely, if this is the place where a Tathagata Garbha stupa was there, and as part of them, there might be the remains of Padma Sambhava. Padma Sambhave. Locative in Saptami Ekavibhakti is about locatives. And then I'll move on. This is the first piece of evidence that I am presenting. Then I'll look at the other pieces. Please go to slide number 6. Many people have, and scholars have already talked about the career and life of Padma Sambhava. I believe the Kathang literature that began to emerge from 12th century, the hagiographical literature led to more confusion rather than clarity. So also, regarding the various inscriptions that came from Gordej, like the Ganesha inscriptions which I'll show you, which made many scholars to, especially Ronald Davidson, to make the argument that Swat as Odiyana is final, categorical, but I'll look at the inscription more closely to question the reading on the basis of which he makes this categorical statement, and I'll make the argument that Swat doesn't have anything, archaeological evidence which proves the fact that this could be the case of Udyan. On the other hand, as I'll show from what he learned from various masters, that Odisha could be a better choice, and I gave you some evidence already. There might be also two Padma Sambhava as well. This possibility cannot be denied as well. He was found by Indrabhuti on 8th year from Lake Dhanakosa. He married to Mandorova, Jahor princess. He disinterested in life, he deliberately killed in a Khatavanga the minister for which he was banished by his father Indrabhuti to Charnel ground. Following you, then he came back to Udiyana at the time of famine and remained in his Sambhogakaya in the Charnel ground. Here he had a vision of Vajravarai. He went to Buddhagaya, where he at times took embodiment of 1,000 monks, and thereafter, and he claimed that I am a self-appeared Nirmanakaya. From this onwards, he was known as Padma Sambhava. There, he must have a future master for the guidance of future generation, he realized, and he first met Sakya Mitra and Sakya Maitri. why am I highlighting? Because I will prove that Sakyamitra belonged to Odisha, because he wrote a commentary on a yoga text called Sarvat Thagat Tattva Sangra. Anandagarbha has a commentary, as well as Sakyamitra has a commentary, and I'll try to prove that Sakyamitra wrote a commentary and named it as Kusala Alankara precisely because of the fact that he was associated with Western Odisha, which was known as Kosala. He went to, from Sakyamitra he learned Suddha Jnana, Yogachara, Tattva Sangra. And as I told you, Sakyamitra wrote a commentary called Kusala Alankara on Tattva Sangra. Then he learned Mahayoga. He went to Mount Malaya. Malaya is again could be possibly anything in South India, but there is also a Malaya Giri in Odisha as well. From a lady damsel, Kwang Mo, he learned 42 peaceful deities in her upper part and 52 wrathful deities. These are the 100 deities that Tibetan worships as part of mandala rituals. Again, I want to show that the fast epigraphic evidence of Vairochana Sutra, which acted at the textual basis of Garbhadhatu Mandala Stupa, which went to Southeast Asia. Chandimendut is a Garbhadhatu Mandala, and then it went to China, and from there Kukai took it to Japan. Therefore, I am making a case that both Mahavairochana Sutra, which is a Charya text, as well as Tattva Sangra, which is a Yoga text, which are taken by Amogha Vajra Buddhi, and another important man called, or monk called Subhakara Singha. He again belonged to Odisha and is considered to be 8 great patriarchs in Japanese Shingon Buddhism. You will find Subhakara Singha's painting in all Shingon monasteries in Japan, suggesting that he is one of the most important figures in Japanese Shingon Buddhism, which is again based on Mahavairochana Sutra, and on the basis of that text, Garbhadhatu Mandala is there. Therefore, we have the earliest epigraphic evidence. I will show you the image from Lalitagiri, which is an Abhisambhati Vairochana, and on which this text called Vairochana Sutra is actually made. And we have the fast mantra, epigraphic evidence of a minor mantra from that text appearing again from Odisha, that is from Lalitagiri, which was known as Chandraditya Mahavihara in 8th century CE. This happened in 7th century AD because Subhakara Singha took Mahavairochana Tantra, Tattva Sangraha to China in 652 AD. And therefore, thereafter, Sakyamitra wrote a commentary on Sarvat Thagat Tattva Sangraha. Thereafter, as I am making the case for Sakyamitra made a commentary on Sarvat Thagat Tattva Sangraha and also taught Padmasambhava about it possibly, Tattva Sangraha, as from the Kathang literature we come to know. Then he went to Master Hunkara, then he went to Nagarjuna. I'll again come back to Nagarjuna, which is different from the early historical Nagarjuna, and will make a case again that, both of them, especially Indrabhuti, Sara, and then another king in this area who is credited to have constructed Lalitgiri, Udayagiri, Ratnagiri, because local tradition says that a Kesari king, Basukalpa, has constructed all these monasteries. And I want to make the case that this Basukalpa is no one except Visukalpa, who has been described in Blue Annals as well as in Taranath's History of Buddhism written in 1608. Therefore, both, the figures who are associated with Padmasambhava's life, such as his father Indrabhuti, Sara, Sakyamitra, then Visukalpa, all of them are almost contemporary, and both the Tibetan literature as well as local tradition, as I told you, associate them with Odisha. Then another, I might be wrong because this Bairochana Vajra, I am subject to clarifications from Tibetan Lama who are here. It is said that, and Richard Dixon also referred to this yesterday, Padmasambhava didn't know Ati Yoga and Ati Yoga, and then he sent Bairochana from Tibet, and then Bairochana learned Ati Yoga here in Uddiyana, and then went back. We have from Tibetan text a monk called Bairochana Vajra. But as far as knowledge that I have, information that I have, he belonged to 11th century rather than 8th century AD. But here is a case of a monk who has been referred to in Tibetan annals, and here clearly his ancestral home is mentioned, and his ancestral home is mentioned as Sonpur, which was actually the capital of the Somavansi king and has been referred to again and again in the last 2 days. Also, we have reference in the Kathang literature to a monastery called Ratna Alankara. Then we have reference to Ratna Dyupa Vihara. All these, this has been referred in Guhya Samaj Tantra's commentary on Guhya Samaj as well as Sarvat Thagat Tattva Sangra by Sakya Mitra. He refers to Ratna Dyupa, Ratnamala, and whether they could be identified with Ratnagiri is obviously a speculation. Before I move on to Odisha's case, let me go to slide number 20. Please go to slide number 20, where Ronald Davidson, Tusi, Sarkar, Bakchi, and others make the claim for Swat Valley. And I believe that the confusions or the identifications of Uddiyana with Swat Valley largely stems from the fact of Tusi's writing, Travels of Tibetan Pilgrims in Swat Valley, 1940. And this obviously was written on the basis of earlier Buddhist Tibetan text, for example, manuscript in the Susen collections and others. Therefore, Orgen Rinchen Pal in 1229, 1309, identified Uddiyana in the South Valley, and this has been the major basis of Tusi's identifications with Swat Valley. And very recently, Ronald Davidson makes a categorical statement that this is the inscription. Go to 22 slide number. This is a Ganesha inscriptions found at Gordij in the Swat Valley in northwestern frontier of province of Pakistan, and this is dated to 642, and the inscriptions says that this is from Uddiyana. Mahata Pratishtapitam, that is consecrated, Idam Mahavinayaka Parama Bhattaraka Maharajadiraja Kingala. Here Koema reads the next word as Uddiyanu, and DC Sarkar reads it Uttyata Sahi Padehi. Therefore, the confusion, the identification that this is a clear case of Swat Valley being identified with Uddiyana is actually based on the wrong reading itself by the Japanese scholar Koema, on which Ronald Davidson relies upon, but the reading could be Uttyata. Then in Odisha, making a case for Odisha, as I told you, Sadhana Mala identifies Uddiyana with Kurukula, Trailokya Sambara, Marichi, Vajrogini, all these wrathful deities. I am not going into what has been said in Kalika Purana, in other texts where Uddiyana has been also talked as Udrayana, but I am making largely an archaeological case to say that 100 deities that Padmasambhava saw and then taught, and text, 30 texts, many texts, in more than I believe 30 texts that he wrote, largely are Ati Yoga and Mahayoga text, and these texts archaeological correlates that we found in Odisha. I'll briefly go through these evidence and then try to show. These are the, go to slide number 30. Yes, these are the 100 deities in Tibetan sources and very popular in Tibet. And the next, these are the things that we find from Odisha, including Uddiyana Kurukula, Uddiyana Marichi, Uddiyana, then Vajravara, Barahi, Krishna Yamari. These are the tantric wrathful deities. Go to the next slide. Heruka, the beautiful Heruka from Ratnagiri. Then you will find them also in Bihar Museum. Then this bronze from, please go to the last, go to the previous slide. Go to the previous slide. Previous slide. Previous, yes. Sir. So, next slide. No. Very recently, next. बात को जाना है, पीछे नहीं, पछू को जाना, आगू को जा. हाँ, next. Very recently, we are talking of Mahanadi region being possible, Sambhalak area. Very recently, when water level came down, we have found this beautiful Avalokiteshwara image from Hirakud Dam, but this is submerged. We have brought it out. This is from Koindapa, which is in submerged area, Padmapur area, in Hirakud Dam area. Next. If you look at the kind of deities, I have found 15 varieties of Avalokiteshwara. Please, next. These are the 14 varieties of Avalokiteshwara from different places. And next. These are the variety, including Halahala Lokeshwara, Vajra Dharma. The end goes long. Yeah. Next. So, what I want to show is the kind of diversity Odisha has so far as 42 peaceful deities and 58 wrathful deities. These are the various forms of Manjusri. I have found these 10 forms of Manjusri I have found. These are the various forms, including Dharmadhatu Vagishwari. You should go to Aragad and see beautiful esoteric image you will not find in India. Dharmadhatu Vagishwara, then you have a, not Manju Vajra, another one. We have Manjuvara. So we have 10 varieties of Manjusri which we have found. Next.
Sir, I would give you 5 minutes more.
Yes, I'll wrap up. Next. Previous one. As part of peaceful, previous one. As part of cult of Bodhisattva, as part of peaceful deity, we have Ashta Bodhisattvas, and there are many areas, including here in the mandala form, you will find Ashta Bodhisattvas. Next. These are the forms, 12 forms of Tara that we have found. Next. These are the, including in the center which has been stolen. Antique market is quite rampant in Odisha, and you will see that many images will be found in European and American museum 20 or 30 years down the line. Next. These are the emanations of Akshova. You go on, just so the kind of diversity that we find. Next. These are the Sambara that we find now in Bihar Museum, Heruka and others, Pancha, Tathagata Kula, and the emanations that we have. Next. Next, this is the, Uddiyana Kurukula from Achyutarajpur Fort. Next. Vairochana. Next. This is the Amitav, Avisambhati Vairochana, where on the back slab you have the mantra from Mahavairochana Sutra. Next. And as I have been arguing that Mandala began to emerge in Odisha from 7th century AD onwards, this Mahastupa of Udayagiri is based on Garbhodhatu Mandala, and we have many iconographic representations of Vairochana Mandala, Vajradhatu Mandala, and others, as you will see. Next. This is the image of Avasambhati Vairochana. Nama Samanta Buddhanam Abhira Ham Kham. This mantra appears on the back slab of the Avishambhati Vairochana, dated paleographical to 7th century. The very soon it traveled through Subhakara Simha, Amogavajra, traveled to Southeast Asia and China. Next. And then, as I told you, Subhakara Simha is one of the monks from Odisha, and Chinese annals, Chinese biographies clearly state that, I have used E. Liang's biographical, which is available in American Historical Quarterly or something, long article, very old article, but it also documents about Buddhist masters from India who went to China, especially in Tang period. Next. This is a beautiful Vairochana surrounded by Ashtabodhisattva as part of Mandala diagram. Next. This is again a Manjusri Mandala. Next. Next. This is an Akshobha Mandala in Ratnagiri, surrounded by 8 deities. Next. This is another alignment where you have 1 Buddha and 4 Bodhisattvas, and then therefore it will have 4 Buddhas and 16 Bodhisattvas in intermediate directions. Next. These are the rare sculptures that you will find today in Naragada, clearly attesting that Odisha was an important center of esoteric Buddhism. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was again. आपने टिक्की ओडिया भाषा रो टिक्की को तो इसीरा मूर्ति जो सी अवलोकन मूर्ति और चीज़ को पाचिकानी सी लिखा होशी ना सी पाचिकानी सी पद्मनाभ और नाम लेकर सीधा 5 मिनट भीतर कौन थी
ओडिशा भारत रो गोटिए स्टेट but there is hardly anyone from Odisha. Like hardly anyone, the audience, whoever is from Odisha, they understand English. Otherwise, none of I can see from Odisha. But if you want, I can elaborate.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very informative, very detailed, and very encouraging. Thank you so much. Tanda kongi jig ten naya denzo ta mancha chena ba pe park thonde siyore nezu machin ba yuji mare ina ya zobo di ta chawe ane sanga doji tewa ge lazo ane jig gyude pheche ko thamje ge la masangwa meba urustala shubwa jig che niba di keche shu di udagiri gi sajan di thole nyebe gi ane chenesi sheng dewa gi kunda tangbu temba di gi ane javi nala ane yigi mangbo yodewa di ma lo yongdu a di nala ya ane guru padma sambhava sa ji chen changma thungi yobadi dubje pe changma ji khongi tune chine ten na ji yigi ma pap chine ta dol yigi di na ngam lo ta tongda gebe yigi indi pheche subru gu yosar di ne di khon ten pap chine yigi pe changma thon ma de na so che zan di pe me se za chimbu chi da ke chimbu chi thong so changma lo chen ya la ai shen da ta ne su bang wu ji kong de na so an di zo nge shu mo go che thank you so much again. Now we have our last speaker, Madam Rita Parnagosh. Please come, and she will be presenting about 8 manifestations of Guru Padmasambhava in India.
Namaskar. Changmala Tashi Delek. Changmala Gongdo Delek. Nga Rituparna in, nga Kolkata Lane, Yongwa in, nga Tripura la nangche ki gegen sig in nga boke ki pecha boke ki rimo chalak thanka hachang gapoin nge jena kherang changma pe yakpoduk thujeche. I am basically from Bengal, so I think I have a deep inner connection with Tibetan language, Tibetan culture and Tibetan people. And I heard most of the Tibetan person, they told me they have also something inner connection with Bengal. Bengal means historical Bengal, like Orissa and Assam, all these things. So before present my paper, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude and thanks to the members, committees, and all of you who are connected, each and every person who are connected with this conference. Actually, my paper basically for local Uriya and Bengali, like non-Tibetan person who doesn't know anything or something know Padmasambhava's activities, significance of the Padmasambhava and related topics. Actually, I know most of the Tibetan person, they know my topic, Guru Padmasambhava's 8 manifestations or Guru Sangye. So this is my topic, and next please. First, I want to mention here the contents. Next, please. These are the contents, the Tibet and Bon versus Buddhism, Guru Padmasambhava, and Padmasambhava in the Nyingma tradition, significance number of the number of 8, and with the relation of this Padmasambhava and Padmasambhava's 8 manifestations. The next slide, please. This is the Tibet. You know Tibet, what is Tibet? Just I want to explain for this non-Tibetan person. Located in the heart of the Asia, Tibet, often called the roof of the world, land of the snow. When researchers researched on the Tibet or Tibetology, they gave a lot of names. Like water tower of Asia, highest plateau on earth, mysterious land, mysterious coin, etc., etc. So Tibet has vast mountain, deep valleys, and amazing geography. According to Tibetan history, before introduced Buddhism, the ancient indigenous religion of Tibet was Bon religion. It believes in nature, spirits, and local forces. Mountains, rivers, and sky and natural forces are the very important in Bon religion. Before introduced Buddhism in Tibet, the land of Tibet covered with a lot of negative and dark energies. When Buddhism reached to Tibet, it encountered with the Bon tradition. Instead of completely destroy or replacing Bon, Buddhism interacted with it. Both have influenced each other, and Bon religion survives today as a component part of Buddhism. As a result, a unique form of Buddhism was developed, that is Tibetan Buddhism, which continuously flourishes today. Next please. This is the Buddhism introduced in Tibet. I put two separate time period. Nga means early, and Dhar means spread, and Chi means later, and Dhar means spread. The early spread of Buddhism began in the 7th century onwards, and then later period started from the 11th century onwards. But I put the red color because this is the important time period for us, Ngadhar. This period related to the Padmasambhava's activities, so this is very much important for us. Next please, slide please. This is the Padmasambhava's picture in Samiya monastery. A long history, very vast history is related with these two pictures. Because this time translated project was started and lot of things, translation and lot of things were started in Tibet. Next slide please. This is the Byoki Chogyal. Byoki Chogyal Sumni. Byoki Chogyal means Dharma Raja. Three Dharma Rajas, first one King Songsang Gampo, then second one Trisang Desang. He was the second religious king, and I put the red color again because this is the important for us. This is the time period of this Padmasambhava's time period. And third one Ralpachen, and he, the second one, second Dharmaraja, Trisang Desang, he invited the great Buddhist master from, many great masters from India. Please, next slide. King Trisang Desang, he was the great grandson of the Songsang Gampo, King Songsang Gampo, and he invited most of the Tibetan masters from India, and he sent a lot of the Tibetan scholars in India to study. Among them, Padmasambhava played a crucial role. Padmasambhava's arrival is closely connected with the Ngadhar. Ngadhar means early spread of Buddhism period. He helped overcome obstacles that prevented the spread of Buddhism by surrounding negative forces and local spirits. These beings were then bound by the oath to protect the Buddhism. Working together with the Santaraksita, he established Samiya monastery, the first Buddhist monastery in Tibet. Through his tantric teachings, rituals, meditation practices, he laid to the foundation of Vajrayana Buddhism. And Padmasambhava is remembered in Nyingma's tradition as the founder of the Nyingma's tradition, and this is the heart of this Buddhism. Next slide, please. This is the Padmasambhava and Nyingma tradition. The Nyingma school is the mother of all four schools. Nyingma means ancient or old, Tibetan word, and it literally means ancient and traditionally said to have been founded by the Padmasambhava in 8th century onwards. The Nyingma tradition is commonly attributed three key figures. I mentioned here Tibetan name, Khen Lobche Sum. Khen Lobche Sum, three different figures are included in this term, Tibetan term. So these three figures firmly established the Buddhism in Tibet. Khenpo. Khenpo means abbot, that's the Santaraksita, and Lobpon, this is the Pandita, Mahapandita, and Guru means Padmasambhava, and Chogyal means Dhamma Raja, Dharma King. So here, Trisang Desang, the second religious king. Next slide, please. This is the picture of the Padmasambhava. Padmasambhava came into this world specially to Tibet to teach the Tantrayana and the spread of the Vajrayana Buddhism. Padmasambhava represent the Guru principle, Guru cult. This is the important Guru cult and Guru principles. This is the heart of the Vajrayana Buddhism. This main role was not only teach doctrines but also to transmit powerful tantric methods, meditation, practice and rituals that could lead to enlightenment quickly. So he is lovingly and respectfully known as the second Buddha, Sangye Nipa. Sangye means Buddha, Nipa means two, Sangye Nipa. So Padmasambhava helped to remove obstacle to the spread of Buddhism by subduing negative forces and local spirits. he transformed into to protector of the dharma. The Nyingma tradition includes almost all the main elements of Tibetan Buddhism, like 9 yanas, 9 spiritual paths, and these teachings of the great perfection, Rogzen, and the Terma tradition, that is the hidden treasure. So Padmasambhava is the traditionally understood in Nyingma literature, both of the historical figure and the cosmic Buddha, whose activities was to transcend ordinary time and space. From tomorrow, we are discussing and we are trying to establish that he was historical figure like us, but on the other hand, he was not just a human being like us. He has an emanation of spiritual, powerful, ancient Buddha and Bodhisattvas whose actions take place across the many worlds, time periods, and dimensions. So we cannot imagine how much supernatural power he has. He was Mahasiddhacharya. He could travel instantly to help beings in need. He knows flying, that is called Khechuri Vidya. In India, this is the very sacred and very Khechuri Vidya means flying, who can fly. The Padmasambhava can appear anywhere by flying. He can do each and everything for the benefit of beings. He was most popular, effective forms, that is the 8 manifestations. They appear according to needs of beings and the type of the obstacles and challenges practitioner faced. So he heard I heard lot of real stories how Guru Rinpoche helped them. Next slide, please. Next slide. Before that. Okay. Significance, the number 8 of the Buddha. Before slide, please. Previous one. This is okay. Significance of the number 8 in Buddhism. Now number 8 in Tibetan language. This is called Gye Bauragata Gayata Gyata Gye. In Indology, the number 8 holds deep symbolic meaning, philosophically and practical significance also it has. It represents balance, totality and completeness. So 8 is the very sacred number in India, not only India, in Tibet also. So 8 is the first complete even number beyond the basic 4. In general, 8 means alive and moving. 8 represents a stable system that function dynamically, not statically. So in Buddhism, 8 has lot of significance. This is the core Buddhist teaching, that is called in Pali Arya Ashtangika Magga, in Tibetan Phagpei Lamyan Lagye Pa, and then in Sanskrit Arya Ashtangika Magga and Ashtamangala. Ashtamangala means 8 auspicious symbols, Tashi Tagye, then 8 directions, in Sanskrit Ashtadik, in Tibetan Chogye, then Ashta Mahathana in Pali, 8 great places related to Buddha, in Tibetan Ne Chengye. Like that, Ashta Sila, Ashta Lokadharma, 8 worldly conditions, Artha Purisha, 8 consciousness, 8 bodhisattvas, lot of things are included in this number 8. Now next slide, please. Padmasambhava also closely related this number 8. Because it is the symbol of his enlightened destiny. This word is very important, destiny. According to traditional biographics, he appeared 8 years old. Remembers 8 the number. the Uddiyana in here, Uddiyana, then why? My question is why it is number 8? It could have 5 or 10 or anything. This is another important thing. Padmasambhava invited to Tibet by second religious king Trisang Desang on the 8th century onwards. That is also important, 8th century. So this is also activities, Padmasambhava's activities times. Number 3, 8 directions means everywhere. 8 direction means everywhere. This shows how Guru Rinpoche's blessings spread everywhere, leaving no place without him, without his guidance, without his blessings. It spread everywhere. And these 8 directions are closely related with the 8 manifestations of the Guru Rinpoche. Each direction represents a special quality and purpose of 8 forms. According to Tibetan accounts and tantric cosmology, there are 3 types of spirits, or we can say negative energies. We know Guru Padmasambhava subdues them and binds them by oath to protect Buddha Dharma, and 8 types of spirits. Now the most important things, 8 manifestations of Guru Padmasambhava, and these 8 manifestations are closely connected of 8 important events in his life. And another important thing I want to say here, I think yesterday, number 8 in Pali, Artha, I don't know, is there any possibility to connection the Uddiyana or Ardha? Maybe mispronouncing, I don't know, this need to research. Next slide please. This is Guru Chenge. Guru Chenge, etymological overview. Guru, this is the Sanskrit word directly translated into Tibetan. So the Gu in Sanskrit means darkness or ignorance, and Ru means remover. So one who removes darkness or ignorance, Guru Padmasambhava constantly removing the darkness. So he is Mahaguru. Next, the Tibetan word Chen referring the name, mark or aspect, Di, Ni, Mingi, Chesha, honorific term of name, and then Gie, this is the cardinal number, Tibetan number, but in the context of the Guru Rinpoche, 8 is not just a random number, it has a specific spiritual importance. Guru Chenge, these terms carrying a deep philosophical meaning and unique way of understanding knowledge and truth. These forms are not religious symbols or simply devotional icons. They express clear idea about the life, wisdom and action and human experience. They encourage the balance. 8 means balance, as I have told before, between the knowledge and compassion, reason and experience, peace and strength, balance between materialistic world and this spiritual world. That is the important things. The 8 manifestations is very meaningful because they offer guidance, protection for living beings. Next slide, please. These are the picture of the 8 manifestations. So Guru Rinpoche appeared 8 different forms during his life. In some from taught dharma in calm and gentle, peaceful way. And other forms, he appears strong, fierce, and angry form. These powerful forms are not meant to create frightened or fear, but remove the obstacles, defeat harmful forces or negativities, protect the teachings of the Buddha, and protect the practitioners. So all these manifestations are not different, they are different expression, different aspect, but same enlightened being. just as one person can act differently in different situations. According to his wish, he can appear in many ways to help beings according to their needs. And from 8th century onwards till today, Guru constantly spreading his blessing for us. Next slide, please. Some Tibetan Buddhist accounts, Padmasambhava is described appearing his manifestation. They describe these manifestations. In this, I mentioned some account here. One is the main source, that is the Great Tibetan Dictionary by Dunkar Lobzang Trinle. And another is a notable poetic work and pair in the garland of youthful Utpals. Utpal means lotus in Sanskrit. Zamyang Khinse Wangpo. And a lot of Kathang literature, religious literature, Kathang literature like Pima Kathang, Zanglingma Kathang, they mention these 8 manifestations of this Padmasambhava. Now next slide, please. Next slide. This is the picture. His Holiness Dalai Lama performing the empowerment associated with Guru Rinpoche. Empowerment means the special blessing in Sanskrit, Abhisheka. It is more than that, just a ceremony. It is a way to establish direct connection with the enlightened mind of a Buddha or Guru and receive permission to practice sadhana. Next slide, please. The empowerment of Guru Rinpoche, Guru Rinpoche's 8 manifestations. This is the Thugdrup Ningkuntu. This is very popular in Tibetan. I want to etymologically meaning, I want to give this etymological meaning here. Thug means low, means enlightened mind, and Druk means practice or realization. Young literally means again, but here most essential, and Ning means heart, and Kun means all or everything, and Du means unified or gathered. So total meaning of this word, Thugdrup Nin Kunju, this is the union of all innermost essence. This is a special blessing that connects the practitioners to the Guru Padmasambhava directly.
Madam, you have 5 minutes, please.
Okay, yes.
Thank you.
So I want to mention just 8 Guru Padmasambhavas, 8 manifestations. These 8 forms of Guru are very, very popular in the religious and academic world. So I don't want to go the details, iconographical description of these 8 manifestations. Just I want to give brief description, and I want to mention the name. First one, Guru Dorje Dorlo. Slide, please. Slide, next. This one, Guru Dorje Dorlo. He is surrounded by fire. He has 1 head, 2 hands, and his body is brownish red. He clears even most difficult obstacles on the path, subdue negative energies. Then slide, please. Next slide. Then Pema Gyalpo. Gyalpo means king. Pema means Padma. This means lotus king. In this form, Guru depicted a young prince seated a royal and comfort posture on a beautiful throne. Next, please. Guru Nima Oze, meaning in Sanskrit term is the Surya Rasmi. He is shown an Indian yogin. And then next slide. Guru Sakya Singhe. Singhe means lion. So he is also, there is a different iconography, different mantras. So then next slide. Pema Jungne means lotus born. Guru Pema Jungne, lotus born. This reflects the traditional born of this Padmasambhava from lotus. Next slide. Guru Chokye Dorje. Chokye means, Cho means lake, Kye means born or origination. Dorje means Vajra, Padmasambhava. It is also referred to lotus born or horizon from this lake. Next please. This is also fires form of this Guru Padmasambhava, Dradok, Guru Senge Dradok. Senge means lion and Dradok means roar. This is called the lion roar. He presents his powerful compassion. Guru Rinpoche appears not to the frightened beings, but liberate them from this world, from this ignorance, fear, and destructive forces, referring the fearless sound of awakened truth that silence all the wrong views, just as lions roar, overpower every other sound. Next, please. Then Guru Lo, then Choksre, meaning Supreme Son of the Wisdom. This is also another manifestation, very popular manifestation of Guru Rinpoche. Every part of these images are meaningful. It has a lot of special meanings and mantras and significance. So due to short of time, I can't explain. These 8 manifestations of Guru Padmasambhava came from the single enlightened mind, which is very popular nowadays. So it is for our local Uriya and Bengali and non-Tibetan person. Okay, thank you, Tashi Delek, Thujeche.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rituparna Ghosh, for your beautiful presentation of the 8 manifestation of Guru Rinpoche. Ani tanda Rituparna Ghosh, Kyawa Morangi, and Chetam Senatan Reju Nine, so Guru Senji Korti, so the Ganzo Mangche, Juye the Bare, Peche, Nambasal of Jechong Jimare, that Ringi, Tene, Kamen Nangeta, Pachetik Jugdu Bare, and Jugdom di Dr. Richard Gi, and Ma to Soya Resha Jugdom di, please.
So we've come to the end of our presentation, and I want to just briefly thank the speakers and summarize in really shortly what they were saying.
Dringita Sondi Jugdubre, any Korangi, Dordutone, and Kalup Nangenda, Chetam Nangan Solia, Tushi Shuais.
Because really 3 themes have come out in this conference, and you'll see them appearing again and again in the presentations.
The Yimaning Ringlaya, drilling capsule, any young to Samegi, Chiki Tonanayagi, Ningamamos.
So our first speaker yesterday afternoon was Dr. Frederick Moranval, and he mentioned this strong ascription of Odiyana as Swat Valley, which was suggested by Tucci in the 1940s.
Then Thoma de Sonshinanga, Dr. Monroe, Gi Chetam Nalaya, and Odiyana Sea de Gi Mingdi, Thoma and Chilole, Chikshukshambo Tachiadi, and Dr. Tucci Kongi in Zesha to Stember Resons.
Although he admitted in his book that the travelogue he based his ascription on was not clear, and it wasn't clear whether Urgyempa had visited or just had a vision of Odiyana in the
Inaya
travel.
Dr. Tuchi gin zeba dinalaya and ujing yu nyaba ton kang kawat la cha yu me sebu ram mindu chesa Dr. Ojimba jela oji yu le pebe tuzu dile inaya and kang do peba diga changma chi nyaba zinya maso chikchena danang ki peba inaya sees.
And he made a very interesting point that particularly for Padmasambhava, who arises on a lotus flower, Swat Valley is at 3,000 meters and there are no lotuses that can grow there.
Korangi ane mixegi tonan thola she ajigleya Swat Valley se tanang anzuta gundu uji yu se de Afghanistan da Pakistan la yodabati toze Chile sumdong gala yodaba yindu dindegi namshi chawmuji gala ya medo pema ane sta trabogi medo jike aidi yongi yu mar sambachi sons korangi.
Now our second two speakers, Mr. Prabir Pataneg and Dr. Sabat, were talking very strongly about the tantric importance of Odisha.
TJ gisungshe nangi ni uristarani imbagi Dr. Prabir da ane Dr. Sabat konigi tak zo jing jimba chigi thone ane Guru Rinpoche de uristar rangla thungbo rese ajigi ane shukchimbo tena sons.
And Mr. Pataneg has developed a really large repertoire of information about why Odisha is so important.
Patnaik ku deva digi ane lakbar do iksha mangpu duru na chene urista se ate ane Guru Rinpoche thungwa thuyu imbagi tenda khai imatin deje mangpu na sons.
And that led to our final speaker on the first day, Lama Tenzin Sempo, who explained an important point, that there are really two ways of viewing the biography of Guru Padmasambhava.
Tene kasang kita sunshe nangin thamadi Lama Tenzin Sambegi ane nesu zowo kashi temba nane ke cheshu chikdi ane ujingi yu nguen zindang dileya namba mandaw yore sen sons.
In the Nyingma Kama, which is the long lineage written history, Padmasambhava is indeed born from a mother.
Ta Nyingma Kame ki lula yimba yina ane chikin Guru Rinpoche zuide kyewa lema mayimba ngani kyewa yimba shegi yores.
But in the Nyingma Tama tradition, which are the rediscovered teachings, he's born from a lotus.
Tene terme chogi ane katang ta tete mambu chigi nane Guru Rinpoche yongda ki zuji chungpore se chikin dezu tene shagi yores.
So whilst we here in this conference are interested in the physical manifestation of Padmasambhava,
ane thaman dileya ta Guru Rinpoche ane chikku chungtang chungyu khande chigi yomese digi kolake jeling sons.
there is another way of understanding the Guru which is entirely beyond concept in many, many, many dimensions.
Ta cho chene Guru Rinpoche ngaranzo ta tokbe chumbi kansa khain mayimba yindu kapsu samjule deba ki nezu chen chagi yores.
He also mentioned the inscription on the back of the Padmapani statue here at Udagiri and two other later masters who went to Tibet, who came from Odisha.
Ane dina ane kesha chi ane lama tensambe sushe nalaya de dine nye begi ji phagwa thuji shimbo ku sheng shimba digi jablaya kai yoba dina Guru Padmasambhava gi chen yoba chikda jelaya yaga rane pa phele phebegi pandita tinzo gi debegi thonin Guru Rinpoche ane ya sikwada dindigi and regional sons.
Then we closed the afternoon with Rahul Ravi Rao, who talked about Ratnagiri, Oyadagiri and Lalitagiri and the importance of these monastic sites.
Ane dringita sonshe nange thangpu digi are tango geta thamadi sar peji thangpu di che ne ane Ratnagiri da Udagiri che thangno giri sum yoba di kolaya shimju yanja chi chimba che godu sons.
Now this afternoon we began with Khenpo Chöpil Norbu, who talked again about the different ways that Padmasambhava is described in the Kama, Tema and Pure Vision lineages.
Ta dringi sonshe nange thangpu de Khenpo Chöpil Norbu sonshe dodu nalaya dodu bayina ane kanda Guru gi chungdang 아니 지게 문지 제다 질루디 까마다 때마 사모 다난 제버터네야 문지 슈다 말아와요 송송스.
And this was followed by a talk by Tulku Gurme Dorji, who indicated that even in the long lineage descriptions, it's clear that Padmasambhava either visited or was born in Odisha.
아니 공기 쭉 주메 도지 기송디 니실레 샤체네니 까메기 루토네 침베이나야 구름부치 우리살라 퉁여를 세야지기 아니 익샤 여버레체 송송스.
And he also pointed out that there are numerous sadhanas where Indian deities are involved.
아니 디다냠도다 지 람망부 시우지기 아니 상하기 람망부 시우지야 될 니주 여버레스.
Then we had a really important presentation by Dr. Umakanta Mishra, who described in detail the translation on the back of the Lokeshvara statue just up the hill here.
디제타 Dr. Umakanta 기 아니 개침부기 아니 네주 간줄래야 모저 나야디 나라야다 안다 제네시 디네니야바기 잡라 꾸 샹다와디 잡들라 이기 칸 여바디 용조 마텐라 펩지네니 데시나송스.
Along with auspicious mantras on the rear of this statue, Padmasambhava's name is mentioned specifically on line 11.
디네 익팅 이기 여데바디기 익팅 쭉직이 톨래야 구루 padmasambhava기 세 세부 시우지 여바디 공기들이 세부기 빠르다 제바탄 만데죠나송스.
Along with a local ruler called Subhaka Daradeva, who ruled from 792 to 824.
갑 디기 아니 얘기 다 최종원 선남민도 최 잡조칭이 야부기 체나 잡아 드럽 듬반니 마치비기 아니 디 여버디 딘데시 셰송스.
This is highly significant because Padmasambhava went to Tibet in 749.
디 계신부 차기 도스 강이잖아. 급 디디기 야부 드럽 듬반 나라야 될 여데바 디기 진다 체네 아니 싱샤와기 꾸디 기잡라야 padmasambhava chen yoyadi 계신부 차와 강이잖아. 드럽 듬바기 슈크젤 둔자 십주 she국을로 들려야 아니 구름부신 데네 별라 페버레스.
So may indicate that Padmasambhava came back to Odisha.
딘데 인디 아니 별라 페 제네 아니 베네 아니 로든 소네 라야 아니 론업 시유레 페베기 람 갑스 쇼라야 우르살라 냐바도 페요사레스.
He also pointed out that Odisha has the longest connection with Buddhism of all Indian states.
다 야가 나라야 야가 산에 간테 더부지 집이 있네야 낭바단 대와 나슈 링슈 아니 우르상아디디 중보레스 코랑 셰브세스.
The two merchants who fed the Buddha in the 7th week following the Enlightenment came from Utkala, which is an early name for Odisha.
먼저 로지 나라야 덤바산 제마타도 아니 제게 겨분이 총번이기 가고연다 가는 생이지 체인이 여더버디 웃칼라니 인세야지 민등의 여버디 웃칼라디 우르사기 양 민니바지 민님하게 민차되게 여버인데 덤베 자보기 돈에 로마 당슈야 우르사 차기 여레스.
And even in 1911, the census recorded 20 villages who described themselves as Buddhist.
다 디네 다 봐도 우르사 나라야 낭바 체중 마도베기 낭베기 아니 지소 여여가레 직동 굽자 쭉직이 놀라야 아니 건조 미망기 직출로 레다 간다 잡종 십실 값수 니네 근데 지소카 정대카 죽기 아니 출루 낭바 인세네 아니 퀘샤스.
But returning to Padmasambhava, Indrabhuti, Sakramita and Humkara, who were contemporary with Padmasambhava, are associated with Odisha.
다 구르르무 직갑라야 아니 슈크심바다 뒤냠발라 인더부디 다 로베 홍카라스야 콘존 넘버 참말로야 우르산 라니 임바기 두지 샤송스.
As are many of the Mahasiddhas.
디다냠도 아니 두지 망부직 우르살라 퉁바다 우르살라 쩨바장와 콜라야 송송스.
And our conference ended with a presentation by Dr. Rita Pana Ghosh on the significance of the number 8 in India and Tibet.
Ani tamati sonshe nange ritu parna gosh morangi guru tsenje koleya generation now sons.
Right from the Eightfold Path of early Buddhism, the number 8 represents dynamic totality.
다 장가 제 세야지기 되게 좀세 장가 제 자신부 임바 아니 간주 지게 그 저기 전주 선바 제 세야로 초제 세야로 초종 제 세야로 되기다 예디 장가디 자신부 임바단 제베 더는 구루 체인제 세야디라 간데 커버지 송송스.
And she presented the 8 manifestations of Padmasambhava in the 8 directions, showing the completeness of his activities.
아니 구루 체인제디 초제라야 네 안두자 장와기 콜레야 모랑기 시에송스.
So really, I think we've made a very good start on what is a long project.
Excuse me, did you mention about Dr. Jume Dorje?
Yeah, I think so.
He was the second after Khenpo Chökyi
I
Lobö?
did.
You did?
I did.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Maybe I forgot, sorry. Okay.
So we've made a very good start in what is going to be a long project.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is to gather these talks into a symposium and seek to publish every year a proceedings of this conference.
다 nganzugi talent ta rolling digi dribu sena minduta ta rolling digi ani dele ya chetam mangbochi songshawa tenzo yongdo chu duru chechene ane shugo di padun cheya ki bezu chigi is.
Because as I said in my opening comments, although, let's hope it happens, although the early history of Buddhism is now well understood in India, and the Mahayana universities are well studied, the tantric period is not well studied, and so this is a very important endeavor.
The Quran gi sambalaya yaganangla nangba so ta chi chini yu theba dinane anda nyenduk thegbe gi jungwa rimjung denzo pe sebu shibu jige gochugi yorete chi suane sanga doji thegba gi kordi darung ina mongbuchi gochugi yo mare chesandi kechimu shibu chade yores.
So really it just falls to me now to thank all the speakers and to give them a round of applause for coming and doing this.
송시에 낭인 상말라야 투지 시슈에 인스 콘나마 상마.
And perhaps almost most importantly, to thank His Eminence Jimmy Dorji, who has done a fantastic job as moderator.
My name is Jigme Norbu. Thank you.
And with that, thanking all of you and saying that the today is ending early, you may be happy to hear, because there's no more to do this evening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Richard. You've been really great. So it's really his advice and arrangement and organization has been immensely helpful in preparing academical line. Thank you so much, Dr. Richard.
One thing, we have some souvenirs for our speakers,
Okay.
who I hope are all still on stage. And I will give them because Wang Mo is still out with the cultural secretary. So hopefully they'll come and we'll just do that now. So forgive me, I'm just going to go down the line rather than trying to remember who came first.
Is anybody out there?
Oh yeah, come in, that's a good idea. Bring them to the center and we'll take them over.
다 배제 드린 게 제가 파지 두번 인사를 아니 산이 먼저 다 내주 상슈 라야 산이 먼저 배제 랄리다 그릴 슈베게 다 템버링세 최대 임버레 디 배제 제가 톱사레 제가 아니 산이 먼저 대 쇼게 초 줍네 아니 배제 니군 추즈 당보졌다 맛이 쇼를 램피그레 뒤도 아니 먼저 봐 제가 자야 더 체스트리 띵이 랄리다 그리 쳐라야 링세 피게 라니 녀버게 링세 할레베 자침부 아니 지게 붐바 쭉 뒤인지 지금 좀 샤와다 디나로라 카이드 제버치지는 녀버레 아니 템비 링세 투메 송고요레 아니 데 베트남다 덴데 lumba 카시지레야 링세 기스 덴데 슈버레 야가기 신진 코라냠도 페제네 제단디 산이 먼저 페제 제가 토야기다 네조지도 딩이 쇼를 슈버이 한 참말로 투자 나로나 데데 다 거리 중에 가 말다 되냐 갱킹 가요 되나 민도 한 참마도 돈 가랑 레션 투시 상황 투시래
हेलो यहाँ में एक चाय भी एक मिला है जिस किसका भी होगा प्लीज़ यू कैन टेक इट फ्रॉम वन ऑफ फ्रॉम द स्टेज आप लोग का की एक खो गया है जिस किसका भी होगा ये स्टेज से ले लेना प्लीज़
Today is 15th, Thursday.
check. Hello?
नहीं नहीं वो उधर ही एक लड़का खड़ा था हमें बोल रहा था अनाउंसमेंट करने के लिए हम वही ढूंढने आए थे